Now, the promised story are from the man who gave away more than 8,000 meals during the pandemic. And we've been exploring all week on BBC Radio Wiltshire the experience of the pandemic. Has it changed the way you view the world? We've all had our own experiences in it, good or bad, but we were all in it together in one way or another. You know, there's that analogy, same storm, different boat. Well, this week we've been meeting people who shared their stories of the pandemic in a new book. It's called Unlocked: Portraits of the Pandemic, and it's been written by local author Millie Stone, who publishes as AJ Stone. And today we're going to hear from the owner of a Swindon restaurant, Biplob. His name is Rokib Ali, and he's been telling me about his experience of the pandemic.
It was a difficult time for everyone, and was alone in the whole country and even whole world. It was a very, very difficult time for a lot of people.
And it made you rethink quite a lot about how you could still keep going as a business, didn't it?
It was because start with it was announced as a lockdown. Then we thought it's going to be a short time, couple of weeks, and let's see how it went. Then it went on and on. So we've been forced to shut down, and it was a difficult decision about the staff as well, who we can keep, who is not, who's going to work, and how we're going to survive. But we have some very loyal and long-time staff. They've been very good with us. Some of the staff, unfortunately, we had to let go, like people who work part-time. And then obviously the furloughs and everything been announced, so it was a little relief. And we eventually, we started different, like deliveries and takeaways and different way of lifestyle, really.
Yes, and having done that as a way to survive and keep making money, you went a little bit further and you started, delivering free meals. Why take that step to deliver free meals to the residents of retirement flats and then hospitals and others?
Well, we are restaurants and we have a staff force of 10 plus people work. And so for the delivery, beginning with, it wasn't that busy for us. And at the same time, obviously, going to supermarket, get shopping, you become difficult for us and other people. So we heard people can't get their food, they can't get their delivery in, especially elderly and people living in residence. So we start helping our neighbors really start to see if they need any help from us. That's how we started, and small phone calls start coming in. We are fortunate because our staff was people are even furloughed. They came to help us, and then we had friends who are delivering, taking the food to people. So a lot of cost wasn't involved because the staff was willing to work for free, few hours, because they know we are helping. And he was, very much appreciated up there. And we meet people from age of 60, from vulnerable to people reach, 90s, hundreds of years old. They were not able to cook a meal for them. So it's a highlight for many people. Some of them saying it's their highlight of their week, and they look forward to the meal.
Oh, it's clear you've changed many people's lives during a very difficult time. How do you think it's changed you? Have your values, your aspirations changed as a result of the help you've given?
I was brought up sort of like that by a single mother, and I seen my mom were able to help and others. And the pandemic I think it's bring us more together as a community. We start more caring each other. Nowadays, if I see somebody walking on the road, they're struggling. I do stop, and even some people like carrying shopping, I ask them, would you need a help? And, just looking back, and they just say, yeah, I think we learned that from pandemic.
Caring for others still. That's Rokib Ali, who runs the Swindon restaurant Bitblob, telling his story of his experiences during the pandemic. If you want to hear more from him, you can read his story in full in that new book, Unlocked, Portraits of the Pandemic. It's published by Swindon writer A.J. Millie Stone, or A.J. Stone, as her... she is credited on her books. Unlocked, Portraits of the Pandemic, Rokib's story, one of more than 30 people who shared their experiences of the pandemic with Millie.
Sue Kinnear.